Well, thinking about the world and the possibilities that are ahead of us from a systems point of view. Now, what I'm suggesting to you is that there is a different way to look at the world and look at what's going on than what most people do. And part of that is because of the way we are educated. Our whole educational system is built upon being specialists in one way or another. My degree in is in electrical engineering, right? And I've got a smattering of knowledge about a whole lot of other kinds of things. But in the engineering space, for instance, of chemical engineering and other kind of things that I don't know anything. There's process engineering. There are things that I don't know anything about, relatively speaking. And there are a lot of people in engineering or in medicine or whatever it turns out to be who are very knowledgeable, very very narrow kind of area. They're specialists, right? They're general. To take medicine, for instance, they're general practitioners. There are not that many of them because most people go and specialize in pulmonary or whatever it turns out to be, OB-GYN, whatever the different kind of subspecialties, and they can become very narrowly focused in that area. And similarly in the larger area, you're either a chemist or a physicist or a historian or whatever it turns out to be. And what that does is narrow your perspective and your focus, because working in that particular area, and the whole idea is to become increasingly knowledgeable and therefore more valuable, and so you can get a raise and get a better job. The problem with that is the world doesn't work like that. The world is not narrow pieces. What it is a giant, complex system that has all of these different parts that are all happening at the same time. For instance, if you're a research scientist in biology or something, and you're in a laboratory and you're working on it, you can get your nose down trying to invent something new or discover something new, then you're probably not very knowledgeable about alternative energy capabilities or radical climate change or other kind of things. And you're dependent upon what you're told from the outside. To the extent that you know anything, it's all just what somebody's been telling you. And you haven't, you could defend yourself in the space where you know something about, but on the outside you have to be dependent on somebody else, and that's a problem in this situation, is because there are a bunch of other people who are going to try to tell you things, what's going on, because they're in terms that they're interested in, because they want to control you and they want you to behave in a certain kind of way.